everyone. I'm Symphony Privet. Thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with uplifting stories across the country. A Maryland man is known for fixing what's broken at a nursing home, but it is what he does outside of his job description that means everything to the folks he helps. Sean Martinelli shares how he is living out his life's calling.
At the Silver Spring, Maryland nursing home, Jeff Smith not only fixes lights, he is one. Patients here say whether Jeff's feverishly rolling a bed or fixing a frustrating paper towel machine.
Yeah.
Every day, this maintenance manager shines bright.
He has passion for it.
That's Executive Director Rafael Eludoyan. He says Jeff's passion radiates most when his typical duties are done, when he truly becomes a cut above.
Meeting somebody like this kind of gives you hope.
Hope from a haircut.
Well, I started cutting hair about 2 years ago when I first came.
Even though it's nowhere in the job description.
We actually call him Master Barber.
Only unlike most master barbers.
I don't charge nothing. I do it for free.
I tried to buy him some Popeye's chicken, but he won't even let me do that.
Rocky Twyman's been here for months. He says Jeff doesn't give 100%.
He gives 200%.
Which means everything to those here.
The most vulnerable ones, the people that's in need the most. I have a mother that's in a similar situation.
Jeff thinks of her during every cut. He knows this is more than caring for hair. It's about caring for someone's dignity, for their humanity. And no matter his job title.
I have the opportunity to make a change on somebody else's life.
Thanks a lot, sir. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I needed that.
Do you feel like this is where you're supposed to be?
The particular actions that I do, that I provide to the residents is my calling.
And no payment, no Popeye's chicken could top hearing this.
Jeff is wonderful. Jeff is our angel, man. It seems like there's so much darkness in the world. Jeff brings a lot of light.
Enough light to fill this community and beyond, even if he never changes another bulb.
And that was Sean Martinelli reporting. Let's head to the University of Washington, where the women's soccer team is rallying behind their star goalie. Mia Hammett was fresh off a career best season when she received some devastating news that took her out of the game. Ariel Osudo tells us how her teammates are now showing up for her off the field.
No one is immune to life's cruelest diagnosis, not even a Big Ten all-tournament athlete. UW junior Mia Hammett went to the hospital only a month ago with a persistent cough and trouble breathing. She left with her life turned upside down.
The conclusion is it could be like an infection, an autoimmune disease, or cancer. And when I heard that last option, I just lost it. I was just like, oh my gosh, there's no way. I'm a healthy 20-year-old girl. Like, when you're in your 20s, you just feel invincible. Like, when you're this age, like, you just feel like nothing can touch you. And hearing those words, my jaw was on the floor. I'm like, there's just no way.
Mia was diagnosed with a rare stage 4 kidney cancer caused by the loss of a specific gene. She's only the 14th documented case of her kind.
He just said it was just bad luck. Like, there's nothing more than bad luck. And to hear a doctor say that to you, and like a renowned doctor, I was just like, damn, like, what can I do? You know, why me? There's just the bad luck word that he said. I was just like, wow.
But with some good care, Mia is already undergoing treatment and already completed 1 round of chemotherapy. It's been a whirlwind month for the 20-year-old, who is just on the pitch preparing for spring ball.
I think what's pretty remarkable is we're talking about an elite goalkeeper who had one of the best save percentages in all of NCAA. The last time we talked, it was when you came up with an incredible save to send your team to the NCAAs.
It was crazy, like you said, to go from playing at such a high level to not being able to play at all. Like, that's been the biggest thing. The biggest shock to me is just not being able to play the sport I love with the team I love. Just, it really puts in perspective, like, all the good times that we had, and like just how lucky I am to like miss going to such an amazing practice with such an amazing team.
Returning to that team may seem like a distant dream at the moment, but her medical team says it's not a fantasy. In fact, The hope of using her final 2 years of eligibility is keeping her motivated through this arduous process.
My doctor said a while ago that as long as my body's feeling good, I could get on the pitch, I could just kick some balls maybe, or just do what I love and just work out even a little bit. And I told my friends that and my teammates that, and they were pumped. They're like, whenever you want to come out, we'll be here for you. We'll work out with you. Like, that also just means so much.
It's the on-field, it's the off-the-field, it's the in the locker room, it's in the team room, it's the music and the playlists. Mia is a part of all the little small things that we do.
The support from the team and her community is evident. At the end of the first week, a GoFundMe set up by one of her teammates had already surpassed $100,000 for Mia's medical bills and travel for medical treatment.
However, the strength that Mia has shown, we're right beside her. And so I think it's her team, her coaches, UW, the entire community. We're going to be just as strong as Mia and hopefully even stronger to give her more strength.
1, 2, 3, go! From Montlake, Ariel Orsuto.
Mia's teammates set up a GoFundMe for her treatment cost, and altogether they raised more than $92,000. Way to go, ladies. Love that story. All right, let's move on to Texas now, where donkeys that have been abused are now helping humans heal. Kevin Reese introduces us to the Band of Burros.
A few dozen acres on the south side of Granbury is already a pretty unique place. And not just because of Tracy Miller's substantial mustache.
This is not the biggest one I had. The biggest one I had was 3 foot wingtip to wingtip.
The real spectacle here.
This is Billy. Billy is just a big old donkey.
Is a herd of donkeys.
Hi, Rosie.
Each with a name.
Hi, Sherman.
Each with
Jenny.
A story.
Donkeys are the most abused animal in the world.
But here at Texas Rescue, they get a different fate.
You're okay.
Helping rescue someone else.
Give a big old hug. You giving a big old hug today?
This is miniature Miss Ginny. She prefers that big mustache.
You just want to love on somebody, don't you?
And a warm shoulder.
You could stay here all day, couldn't you?
These are now therapy donkeys, visitors to schools and nursing homes.
All my PTSD and everything just kind of melts away.
And a dose of calm for struggling Air Force veterans like William McCluskey.
My heart rate's down. I'm just kind of in my own little world.
William and his wife Roxy visit at least once a week, driving all the way from Mineral Wells.
I tell people in my life, my best day is donkey day.
It makes me feel relaxed. When I leave, it's just like I'm just putty in the chair in the car on the way home.
We've had autistic kids out here that they're not verbal, and after a few minutes, they're talking. They know it innately, and they want to come up and spend time with you.
But Tracy Miller wanted that gift of time offered to a few dozen more. For generations, the dry West Texas scrub near Fort Davis has been home to hundreds of wild burros, descendants of animals that helped tame the West. But rather than watch those growing herds get dispatched or culled, Tracy and his family have so far brought back 22.
Just a friendly baby.
Several.
Good girl, Mama.
Arriving pregnant, including Black Betty.
Bamalam, come on, Dad, a good boy. Yes, he is.
Bamalam is her baby's name.
It's really touching that these donkeys are not going to be put down in some way, that they're getting a new lease on life.
That lease for them at Texas Rescue is to join the therapy herd or be adopted to caring Texas homes. They call it their Band of Burros Rescue Project.
These guys are on the same level as dogs and dolphins. They think, they process, they have a big heart. They want to be able to give back to you the same that you give to them. They know they've been rescued.
Before coming here.
We also know one more thing. Sirens. The once-a-month test of the local storm siren creates quite the burro and donkey chorus. But otherwise, peace and quiet and therapeutic hugs are all you will find here.
That's a good boy, huh?
The man with that spectacular mustache hopes you find something else.
That more people start understanding that donkeys really do have a purpose.
A purpose they will do their best to save.
It's a very special thing to see.
In Granbury, I'm Kevin Reese.
All right, now check this out. The NBA has a positively special teammate in training to become a service dog. Reggie's is currently bringing joy to Cleveland Cavaliers fans and surrounding community out there. Candace Hare shares the story of how he is sniffing out success and fetching a couple smiles along the way.
This wet nose and floppy ears and that wagging tail, they're becoming regular sights at Rocket Arena. Meet Reggie, the Cavs and Monsters' newest recruit and the NBA's first ever puppy with a purpose from America's vet dog. He's not chasing balls, he's chasing a bigger mission, becoming a life-changing service dog.
Reggie is a 6-month-old yellow lab. We are so honored to be able to support him.
Reggie's already a star attraction on game nights. He's got his own spot, Reggie's Corner, where fans can stop by for a quick hello.
Right now, it's just about getting him socialized. So getting used to being in an arena with loud sounds and a lot of people is really important so that when he is placed later on with a veteran, he can navigate what most dogs might feel is an uncomfortable situation. So he's exposed to everything. He does have really cute headphones that he wears at games to protect his ears.
And when he's not hanging courtside with his adorable doggy headphones, he's heading out into the community, including a pup-lifting visit to the Cleveland Clinic Children's Rehabilitation Center to spread some playoff cheer.
He's a pretty chill guy, and he just makes everyone's day a lot brighter.
Reggie still has a year left with the Cavs and Monsters before he heads off for advanced training and is placed with a veteran or first responder, bringing comfort, independence, and lots of tail wags.
Service dogs are an important part of our community, and the Cavs are so honored to be able to support this particular program. They've been fantastic to us, and we can't wait to see the difference that he makes.
That was Candace Hare reporting. We have more for you coming up on Featured. Here's a look at what's ahead. A family is completing unfinished business. We'll tell you how they revived a dormant dream and gave it a storybook ending. Plus, you never know who you're going to meet on a plane. This woman met NFL rookie Travis Hunter. Wow, we'll share why it was such a memorable moment for her. Not everything hiding under your bed is scary. Over in California, a grandmother found a long-lost story that was unfinished. Jeff Zevely shows us how it took 3 generations to bring it to life.
In 1963, Peggy Quinn, a mother in Minnesota, wrote a children's book.
She writes a story, and then what happens?
She tucks it away under her bed and disappears for 60 years.
In 2023, Peggy rediscovered the book and asked her son Sean if he could help bring her dream to life.
What do you know about illustrating books?
Not a lot.
Sam, the story of an adventure.
Sean Quinn can barely draw a stick figure, but with the help of AI and Photoshop, he became an illustrator.
At my house lives Mark, a happy young boy who has for his own the world's bestest toy.
Sean even created this YouTube video using his voice as the narrator.
Along came a breeze. Sam stuck up his nose. He whiffed and he sniffed. He wriggled his toes.
Sam, the story of an adventure, is about a dog who runs away from home and breaks into a hot dog company.
He ran down the block and he ran through the park. He followed his nose right away from young Mark.
Sean needed a young voice to bring that beagle named Sam to life, so he asked his daughter, Casey.
Hot dogs, they're what I adore.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, kind of.
A little bit? I mean, you're the voice of Sam.
Yeah.
You nailed it though, didn't you?
Yeah.
The final character in the book is a grumpy hot dog maker. And when Sean asked his son, Connor,
I didn't want to do it.
How come?
I'm lazy.
But the love he felt for his grandmother compelled Connor to deliver.
One more time. Let's just once more.
One fantastic line.
Get out of here, dog. You've been bad. Now scat.
3 generations of a family led to this finished book and a FaceTime call with a grateful grandmother.
What do you think about your book, Sam?
Well, I'm kind of shocked, to tell you the truth.
It must feel great to finally be able to share your story.
It's wonderful. It was delightful.
Usually something hidden under a bed for 60 years is scary.
You have an amazing son and 2 amazing grandkids.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. I certainly believe that.
Never again, Mark. Not even once more.
But Peggy Quinn found an adorable dog named Sam and a story she can finally share with the world.
That's what will happen, as even Mark knows. For a beagle's a beagle. That's just how it goes. The end.
In the Zevely Zone, Jeff Zevely.
And now to South Carolina, where an 80-year-old man is getting recognized for never giving up on his dreams. Take a look.
Mr. Riddick served our country in Vietnam. Mr. Riddick drives to class every day from Summerville, South Carolina. And more importantly, Mr. Riddick at 80 has been fully engaged with the student experience, singing on this choir, performing at concerts. Mr. Riddick, you inspire us all. Thank you, sir.
Linwood Riddick recently graduated from South Carolina State University with a bachelor's degree in music industry. Decades ago, Riddick put his college dreams on hold to serve in the military. He promised himself he'd get his diploma before he left this earth, and he did just that. Congratulations to him. Already time now for a quick break, but first, let's check out what's ahead on Featured. A car gone wild on a Texas highway. We share the series of events that led up to this crazy ride you see here, plus a life devoted to helping others. Why one man is making sure kids stay safe on their bikes. Alrighty, let's dive into what's trending on social media now. A professional circus performer broke a Guinness World Record using her hair. Check this out, 39-year-old Layla Noon. Oh my goodness, she broke the record for the longest time suspended by hair. This happened at Redwood National and State Parks in California. Her time came in at 25 minutes and 11 seconds, which beat the previous record of 23 minutes and 19 seconds set by an Australian back in 2011. Noon says it took her 2 years of practice and some endurance to accomplish this challenge. Now, she says it is mind over matter, and she wanted to prove that things can be done. It takes a lot of power in your mind, and if you put your mind to it, you can do it. Wow. I don't know what that felt like to be hanging from her hair. Wow, 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 wow. All right, now check out this video we're about to show you. Chaos unfolded on a freeway in Texas, and the whole thing was caught on camera. Now, this might look like a scene out of an action movie. This is not something out of Fast and the Furious. This video shows a car zigzagging out of control while being towed backwards down a busy Texas highway. Other drivers in the video, they can be seen slowing down, some of them even stopping to avoid a crash. Now, after a bit of investigation, Houston police say the driver of the blue car got stuck and couldn't afford to get it towed, so they decided the next best thing they could do was call a friend. The friend showed up, hooked it up to their SUV, and this was the result. Thankfully, no crashes happened and no one got hurt. An NFL player scores off the field with a very sweet moment that happened on an airplane. Check this out. This is Sandy Combs sitting right next to the Jacksonville Jaguars' first-round pick, Travis Hunter. Now, these two went viral after a flight from Denver to Jacksonville. Sandy shared online how the young NFL player went out of his way to help her with her luggage and her meal tray. Now, the best part is she didn't even know who he was. Look at that. He's just being a stand-up guy. She praised him for being so polite and said anyone would be proud to call him a son or grandson. And I'm sure his mom and his grandmother are proud that he acted like he had some sense on that plane and helped that lady. That is a wrap on Trending. Here's a look at what you can expect next on Featured. Look at this. They call themselves a human rights movement disguised as a coffee shop. Now, one business is celebrating diversity with its staff, plus culture cultural connections. A little bit later, I will introduce you to a woman who is making sure Indian cultural traditions stay alive in her community. Thank you for staying with us here on Featured. I'm Symphony Privet, and we are continuing to bring you some uplifting stories across the country. A coffee shop in Texas wants to give its employees a purpose while inspiring customers. Sydney Persing shows us how it is changing lives and perceptions.
Hi, welcome.
It's not every day you find a cup of coffee.
We don't do macchiatos, but we do have lattes.
That makes you feel as good as it tastes.
Would you like your seats?
This is Biddy and Bo's, a brand new coffee shop in Frisco with a meaningful mission.
I believe that God put me here for a reason. I know that.
Biddy and Bo's intentionally employs folks with disabilities. People like 23-year-old Isabel, the brilliant barista.
My mom told me to answer prayer to her prayer because she would be praying for me to have a job.
Unfortunately, it can be very hard for people with disabilities to get work. Which is why the opportunity means so much to Jared, the professional young man who calls out drink orders.
I wanted the job just to make friends and to help out customers because I really like helping out customers.
Jared was hard at work Tuesday.
Thank you.
As his dad, Jeremy,
There's just not a lot of opportunities or not a lot of places that, that hire kids like Jared.
watched on with pride.
Jared takes it so serious, and so just watching him take this job so serious, it can be very emotional.
Customers like Jamal Smith love the coffee
I feel warm. I feel very full in the heart.
and what it represents.
Buying coffee now means a lot more than just getting a refresher.
The Frisco location is the 19th Biddy and Bo's in the country. Together, they employ more than 450 people with disabilities.
I have an almost 10-year-old autistic son.
And who knows how many more to come. Customer Nilo Ali said every drink served shows her young son all his potential.
This is something that I can see a future for my child. It means that he can be normal like everybody and be accepted, because here there is no judgment. You are accepted for as you are.
And how many places do you know that serve that up, plus a really good cup of joe?
I don't need to fit in because I actually fit in perfectly. So
in Frisco,
I'm not alone.
I'm Sydney Persing.
Right, parents, do you remember hearing your child's first words? Well, a program in New Orleans is unlocking deep thoughts hidden beneath silence for people with autism. Mag Ferris has their story.
Yes, good morning is a fast one because we use that one a lot.
You're about to see people of all ages with autism who don't speak have full conversations.
I'm with you. Tell me more. Hey. And
there's Reed at 13 years old.
I never thought this would happen. Mom, I tell you something, you make me so proud.
How does it make you feel?
Well, meeting Amanda and spelling has changed our whole lives.
N and E and V and E and R.
And Chase at 15.
Spelling has changed every part of my life. I have more autonomy than ever.
Hello, my name is Adam. I am a 30-year-old minimally speaking autistic who communicates through spelling. It is a dream come true.
They are all students of Vibe Learning Center. It teaches the rapid prompting method where students point to the letters to spell out their often very profound thoughts that have been locked inside for decades.
I don't even feel really patient because I'm just so excited to be getting to know the real Reed. I know.
You can't. Get in there, see?
Chase's family discovered he has the ability to understand more languages than he can count. He is spelled in German and Spanish.
He has spelled that he's been learning since before he was 3. He could read.
And so we always said he was reading, but now we know he really was.
Adam tells us that now that he has a way to communicate with the rest of us, it's like freedom.
It's absolutely life-changing, not just for the immediate family, but extended families, for people at school.
Owner and certified teacher Amanda McDaniels says 25 families have come through the VIBE program, no matter what constant physical repetitive movement the student acts out.
Yes, we absolutely have not turned anyone away yet, and I'm hoping that'll never happen.
Amanda says there have been skeptics in the autism community doubting the validity, thinking that the words are being prompted by the facilitator. But she and the family say the thoughts are all from the hearts and minds of the students.
It's almost like a Disney ride. You know, he's like, he can wait and he can sit and he can do it because he's so excited to communicate.
Did you ever think all that thought was locked up inside of him before this?
No, there's no way to know.
Let's get back to this.
That was Meg Ferris reporting. Volunteers in Pennsylvania are paying tribute to former President Jimmy Carter. Sydney Nauman shares how his legacy is now living on in an unexpected way.
Under a layer of sawdust, one Lebanon house is becoming a historic home.
It's great to see the project really come to life.
The project is part of a build by the Lancaster Lebanon Habitat for Humanity and forewoman Sonia Quinones' fifth build.
I did that one start to finish. Kenya's house, start to finish. Evalise's house. That's 4 houses now.
For the last 3 years, opening the door for others to build and buy a house of their own has been part of Sonia's life.
This is what I like to do. I'm on a daily basis helping other people. So it's like after even work. Like after work, I'm just giving back.
And now, as a first-time home buyer herself, she says this build means more.
Once you do good, blessings always come back to you. And this time it is for me.
Seeing the project through from start to finish to settling in.
I can see myself in that house.
But there's still a lot of work to be done before Sonia can move in.
Today we're wrapping up a lot of the door casing, hanging some interior doors.
The door to Sonia's future guest room, preserving the history of former President Jimmy Carter.
It's just unique to have this project going on at the same time. The passing of President Carter, people were invited to sign kind of their well wishes to the new home buyer, and then we were able to hang that door in Sonia's house here as kind of a forever memorial to not only the Jimmy Carter, but the program as a whole.
While the graffiti from residents of Lancaster and Lebanon counties will eventually be painted over, the legacy of Carter and his own dedication to helping others will live on through the now historic home and Sonia.
I mean, I do what Jim Carter does too. I'd like to help our future homeowners, you know, to have a safe home. And now other volunteers are helping me, and that feels good too.
Preserving history through community while beginning a new future.
And that was Sydney Nauman reporting. A brain injury survivor is peddling an important message in Minnesota. Boyd Hubert tells us why he has devoted his life to helping others.
All right, nice and easy.
It's the time of year when kids in Fergus Falls
Slow up to the line.
Saddle up
Stop.
as their town makes sure they do so.
You did fantastic.
Safely.
The bike rodeo.
But this isn't Mike Hikes' first rodeo.
Yep, been doing it most of my adult life.
Wrangling Minnesota and North Dakota kids to helmet up.
I should have counted out how many rodeos. It's a lot.
Because of what went down 43 years ago.
And a brain injury happened when I was 18.
18, and a week from starting college on a scholarship.
Yeah, not a care in the world.
Till a night of celebrating. A friend behind the wheel speeding. This curve in the road.
Both of us were drinking.
And a Mustang that left the road and rolled.
I was thrown through a closed window and landed on the highway. There was a trail about 20 feet where I slid. Fergus Falls youth in critical condition following rollover.
The headlines and the bag of his hair the hospital handed Mike's mom.
She was supposed to give it to the funeral home, and they would have put it back in my head to make me look presentable.
all of which led to the hundreds of Post-it notes
Use the meat.
sprinkled
Repot spider plant.
around Mike's home
11 o'clock, KRE.
and hands.
That's when you were coming in.
Such is the life of a brain injury survivor.
Otherwise I'll forget.
But then, so is this.
Promise to wear it every time you ride bike.
When his brain injury kept him from driving, Mike started biking.
Big boys wear helmets.
That's
Yeah.
when Mike began noticing kids riding without helmets.
You live through a brain injury. You don't want to see anybody else have a brain injury.
The brain injury survivor
Yep.
put his mind to it.
I started in 1999, and I've given over 22,000 away. It's all helmets.
So many helmets.
Cost $10 a piece.
Semis have pulled into Mike's driveway.
Donation containers.
Mike places his containers at businesses in and around Fergus Falls while seeking donations from service organizations. And when that's come up short,
that's what home equity loans are for, right?
A second mortgage for his first priority.
I hurt my brain in a car accident, but I have on a bike just the same.
He's one of our local treasures.
Patrick Hollister, who helps run the bike rodeo,
Now go through this figure 8.
saw last year's headline that Mike was retiring
You'll be a safe bike rider.
from helmet giving.
If I need speech therapy. No. No.
Yeah.
I have a hard time saying no.
Maybe next year, Mike will remember.
Retire.
But just the same,
Want me to buckle it?
hedge your bets on this being his last rodeo.
I'll adjust this just for you, okay?
Okay.
Boyd Hupert, Fergus Falls.
There, now you be safe. Yeah, all right.
Thanks to the quick thinking of a 9-year-old, a family was spared from a raging house fire. Meredith Haas caught up with the young hero and shares her message to other kids.
Classmates showing up for the soft-spoken 4th grader.
Happy that I was able to help someone.
Whose normal activities involve basketball and good grades, not saving lives.
It was coming from the chimney. It was like not that tall, but like you could see it was spreading to the roof.
Driving home with her grandmother and mom, Leticia Rueda, the night of January 23rd. Viviana Castilleja spotted flames coming out of a home on Edison Drive.
To see like it on fire, and like you don't know like if it could like spread so easily and like just jump.
The residents had no idea.
So she and her mother,
She said, "Mom, it looks like the top of that house has flames."
jumped into action.
The door was wide open, so I went in and let them know to come out.
Immediately calling 911, the fire department would get here just in time to save the home, along with 3 adults and 2 children.
Just trying to comfort the kids because they were the ones mostly affected. They were terrified.
With the SAFD fire chief, Wilson Elementary principal, and all her classmates, Castilleja received an award for her heroism. A little more reluctant to speak today, she wants her peers to learn one thing from her call to action.
If you see anything, say something.
It's important for us as parents to teach our children to always speak up.
And never hesitate to get help.
Adult immediately so they could call someone like 911.
Oh my goodness, what a brave young lady. Good work. That was Meredith Haas reporting. Oh, a Texas woman made a plea to one of her favorite celebrities after she was in a tough situation. Look at that. To her surprise, she got more than just an answer. Adriana de Alba shows us how Paris Hilton went above and beyond to help out a fan in need.
The other side, that's the traumatizing part.
The smell of smoke still lingers.
So seeing this kind of brings back that trauma for you.
Yes.
When Bibiana Gonzalez's tire blew out, smoke billowed.
Slowly got darker and darker.
Then flames.
Everything literally burning.
The car she worked so hard for totaled.
I was just like, why me, Lord?
But not everything burned.
And I was just like, my purple cup.
A purple Paris Hilton cup, still in mint condition. All the 24-year-old could do next was film this video and laugh to avoid crying.
Everyone who knows Paris knows that one of her iconic lines is, "That's hot."
Paris, you want to know something that's hot?
My car just caught on fire and your cup survived. Can you please buy me a new car?
The video quickly went viral with millions of views.
Never did I imagine it would go where it went. Like, to me, it was a joke.
Then Paris Hilton caught wind of what happened.
Paris has a surprise she's working on, something special. Something amongst, that.
What did you think it could be? No idea?
I said, oh, maybe she's gonna bring me another cup.
Little did she know.
Hey guys, I'm on my way to Dallas right now.
Like a flashbulb fantasy, the queen of Y2K made her surprise entrance.
She looked like a literal angel.
They talked, bonding over Viviana's work with the disabled community.
I see the Carvana truck pull in, and the car is on top with the big pink bow. Balloons are flying out the window.
The rest was a blur.
Oh my God! But my body, it went into instant shock.
A brand new car from her idol.
We felt like a dream.
A real-life fairy tale with her new fairy godmother. And a new car isn't all BB received.
I felt like she gave me hope.
Hope, knowing sometimes even hardship can lead to blessings. In Dallas, I'm Adriana Dalb.
Alrighty, don't go too far. We are taking a brief break. Stay with us. A Connecticut dance group is using traditional Indian dance to build bridges between different cultures. I spoke with the Laya Vinyasa Company to find out why it's important for them to stay grounded in their roots while sharing it with others.
I wanted to stay connected with my roots. I've been trained in music and dance from a very young age. I was looking for ways to share it with the community.
Sarada Nori began performing for communities within the Indian diaspora. In 2010, she eventually decided it was time to spread her wings and her cultural traditions across Connecticut. She founded the Laya Vinyasa Company. She leads elementary to high school age kids through traditional Indian songs and dances.
I feel like around so many other cultures, some cultures tend to get drowned out, so it's just I feel like it's important to stay true to who I am and what my culture would be, and it's just enjoyable sharing it with others.
With funding from the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving, the Laya Vinyasa Company began its outreach program.
We started to go to libraries, went to schools for art education programs and workshops and such, and also public venues where we could tailor our programs in a way that people could understand the themes that we were performing. Mainly classical forms are about mythological stories and folklores from ancient scriptures in the Hindu religion.
She even puts a modern spin on it by addressing current themes such as climate change. The traditions involve more than just choreography.
There's a lot of complex technique involved. We do rhythm, we use hand gestures. For example, we use a gesture to show water and wind and so on. We do facial expressions as well because the story has certain emotions that need to be expressed. So we use our eyes and eyebrows and all of the facial muscles to express the theme.
Each step, colorful outfit, and adornment helps Connecticut's South Asian communities stay grounded in their roots.
It's a very inspiring thing to see other cultures as well when they share their forms. So I would love for people to, gain an understanding of how Indian customs and traditions are, and we would also love to inspire them to share their cultures.
A chef in St. Louis heard quite a bit of unfavorable feedback about her food, but not anymore. Renee Knott shares her rise to culinary excellence.
She's an immigrant from West Africa.
I didn't know I was coming to America until the day before I came to America.
Bringing her culture to St. Louis.
A connection to my roots.
Via food.
I know I don't look like it, but I eat.
It's been a journey for Ajo, not just in the miles to get here.
Fufu is something that most Americans are not familiar with.
But also a journey to find culinary acceptance.
My mom said, just bring food to school.
As a kid, she was often mocked by her food choices.
going through high school in America where I have to eat my food in bathrooms because kids didn't know what it was, and the ridicule of stinking lunchbox stories and all that stuff.
Ajo eventually found her confidence. And in food, she also found her community.
That trust in community that we had back home, that when I came here, I just felt like, wow, it just wasn't here. And that's what I started building.
Now, Ajo is a celebrated chef.
The TV show was definitely great.
The winner on season 3 of The Great American Recipe.
It was really healing.
On PBS.
I wasn't surprised that I did so well. I was surprised that I got casted, right? That was the part for me that was kind of like, how did they find me in America?
And that dish that was yucked by others when she was growing up.
Go from being made fun of for those food to feeding it to, like, you know, world-renowned judges.
Is now her brand, fufu sauce.
I just needed other people to get the opportunity to try it and love it.
And now, years after coming here, Ajo has found her purpose.
I like putting my stone in place.
In the kitchen.
Once you discover truly what you're here to do and meant to do, the doors open up and the things align.
That was Renee Knott reporting. Coming up next on Featured, we meet a Texas couple whose love story is now Dairy Queen official. How a TikTok post turned into the sweetest partnership ever. Welcome back. Many couples prefer, a nice sunny day for their wedding, but a pair of newlyweds in Texas wanted a blizzard. Sean Giggy shares how Dairy Queen helped them out with that.
It's really nice out.
When Olivia Morris began designing her happily ever after, she could have called upon a wedding planner, friends, or the internet. Instead, she turned to the one place that fit best, Dairy Queen.
I just was like, this literally makes so much sense.
My fiance and I picked a wedding date.
Olivia got the idea the moment she got engaged and then posted her plea on TikTok.
So Dairy Queen, help a girl out.
Dairy Queen isn't exactly in the wedding business. Nonetheless, Olivia proposed a question. Asked the restaurant if it could provide sweet treats for everyone at her wedding for free. To which Dairy Queen responded, absolutely.
We immediately looked at it and thought, we got to do something.
Whit Woolman represents Texas Dairy Queen and says it was a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah.
Not because of Olivia, but because of her fiancé.
Yes, exactly.
Bradley Blizzard is no stranger to Dairy Queen.
I've heard it for 30 years now that I should somehow get involved with Dairy Queen.
Usually, anytime Bradley tried to take advantage of his last name, he got a cold reception.
Flip, 1, 2, 3.
But Olivia turned that Blizzard fortune upside down. The restaurant welcomed Bradley and Olivia for an engagement shoot, then gave them Dairy Queen swag for their bachelor and bachelorette parties. And on their wedding day, provided blizzards, which may have opened a Pandora's box.
Yeah, Mr. Chicken Strip, he showed up yesterday. Mr. Steak Finger, they keep contacting us.
Finding another partnership like this, unlikely, but not nearly as improbable as finding this couple anywhere else.
My future in-laws came into town last night and they were like, hey, let's go to Brahms. And I said, no. You don't understand. We're Dairy Queen spokespeople now. Like, we're going to Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen and the Blizzards. A perfect marriage. In North Texas, I'm Sean Giggy.
Sometimes it's the simple things that matter in life. Congratulations to that couple. Hey, that is it for Featured. I hope you found a little something that inspired you or made you smile. Until next time, make it a great one.